So, Catcher in the Rye, man, I really want to kill John Lennon now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved on to another one of the books that I got for my birthday. I'm reading through Hollywood by Charles Bukowski.
You really love that Bukowski guy.
I listen. He doesn't. I want to read all of his novels. All right. I just want because they're all all but like one of them is following like real events of his life. I want to read about it. All right. He lived a very interesting life.
Fair.
He even wrote a movie and spent a lot of time in Hollywood. Can you guess what his book Hollywood is about?
Time he spent in Hollywood.
Yeah. Dealing with like weird there were some weird people in Hollywood in the 80s and there still is.
Well, hold on. Back it up for a second. Are you telling me that people in Hollywood are like not
Weird.
normal?
Yeah. Especially French people. He dealt with he so far he has dealt with a lot of French people in Hollywood who are weird.
Hmm.
There was a chapter I read about like he like went to meet this like producer who's French. And like so they all like went to his apartment. His assistant let them all in and he was sleeping so his assistant woke him up and like the guy was like fucking piss on them to get them home. I don't want them here. And then he's like, all right, I'll go see him. But first, I'm going to jerk off. No, wait. I'm going to save it. Make it all more special.
Oh.
I'm just thinking.
Why are you reading that in the Quandale Dingle voice? But first, I'm going to joke off.
Because I don't want to do a French accent and embarrass myself. But I'm just thinking, like, yep, that's French. Like, if I were to read that line without context and I would have had to guess the ethnicity of of a person who would say that,
Say nationality. Don't say ethnicity, please.
French people do not deserve the respect of me saying nationality.
It's not
I
even
fucking
the
hate
it's not
them.
even the respect for the French people necessarily. It's just that when you like adhere to the idea that ethnicity is the defining trait, that
But
it's you sound like a
listen,
eugenicist.
I was thinking of that line from Yeek where Alex Yeek says you look vaguely ethnic, alright?
Are you Korean?
No. Do I look Korean?
It's hard to say. You look vaguely ethnic?
Vaguely ethnic.
I was thinking about that.
You do look vaguely ethnic.
Shut up. I hate Yeek so much. Worst game of my life.
Yeek is like the Family Guy brain rot, like on steroids.
It really is. People who like Yeek are I never met a person who has liked Yeek that I have like fully enjoyed being around.
I'm assuming Squeebo is no exception.
Squeebo is absolutely no exception.
I feel like you don't hate Squeebo as much as you would. I think you just find Squeebo uninteresting and like generally obnoxious.
I just don't like people. I only like myself. What night is the all night mask available? When do I have to time travel to? I just don't. It's also the fact that they're like 15 and annoying.
Yeah, no, that's fair. They, they,
Yeah.
they I'm not even gonna say they get on my nerves sometimes because they really don't. I can just understand. I just understand. Yeah, it's something
But
I
yeah,
can deal with. I can deal with the childish brain rot that is the geek shit. But I mean, I literally watch Family Guy when I'm bored. So
oh fuck. Yeah, go. It's just I just don't like people. You know it's hard for me to get along with other people. I'm very much not a team player, and yet I applied for a job at a fucking grocery store.
see, like when I think about working at a grocery store, I feel like I would be the king of that fucking job, having worked at Walmart for only like 2 months, because I am in charge of what is technically one department, but like three different sections. I'm in charge of seasonal, lawn and garden. Obviously, not single handedly, right? Like with a squad.
Yeah.
Like there are days where I'm up all by myself. I have to, you know, be in charge of toys, lawn and garden, and seasonal at once, right? And it's like,
Yeah.
dude, I could run an entire grocery store by myself. I wouldn't be able to deal with all the customers, but as far as like stocking goes, like and zoning and all that, like I could totally just do that. It would be so fucking easy. It would be nothing to me.
Yeah.
I'm considering transferring, or not that wouldn't be a transfer, quitting my job and moving to somewhere else where I'm going to be, and this is funny to say, but more manual physical labor.
You should become a blacksmith.
I don't know about that. I'm considering switching to a hardware store where I would just be like moving heavy shit, like pallets all day. That's my favorite part about my job currently.
Oh
And
my
I spend a lot of
God.
time. I spend a lot of time like zoning, aka cleaning up customers' messes in aisles, putting the Batman action figures back where they go.
Yeah, dude, I can imagine that Walmart's hell because of all like the people who just don't put shit away. First of all, fuck people who don't put shit away in like big stores.
Here's what I have to say about that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
there are times where you can tell that someone put in a genuine effort or that they did their best. You could tell if someone set something like one shelf below where it goes. Like, okay, they just
Yeah.
couldn't reach the top. You know what I mean?
If
Or
it's like okay, if it's like near, super near, and like it's just like whatever. But like if you like take out a wine bottle at Walmart and put it all the way with the fucking tires,
yeah,
fuck you.
something people think is really funny to do is they leave like bras and like vaginal hygiene products in the toy section, just laying there.
That's fucked up.
It's like, okay, that's kind of yucky. But so I say this. I simultaneously have the hatred for the people who do that, right?
Yeah.
And this is all going to sound funny, but also thank you to everyone who does that. You know why?
Why? Because funny, or you get more money or some shit.
That's why I have a job. Walmart wouldn't need to hire as many people if it
That's
wasn't for
true.
customers' bullshit. And if you're gonna shoplift, I might. If they see this clip, I'm gonna get fired. I don't give a shit. If you're gonna shoplift, I don't care. I don't care if you shoplift. Please make a huge mess. So rip it out of the packaging and leave the packaging in the toy aisle. I don't know about other Walmarts, but at my Walmart, there's no camera in the toy aisle. So if you're gonna steal, you know what to do.
There's a camera everywhere at my Walmart.
Are you sure about that? They'd like you to believe that. They want you to think there's a camera
like,
everywhere.
You can see them.
Yeah.
Like they don't even try and hide it. Like because I live in a place where like people aren't nice.
Yeah.
It's less than that and more that they're just super dumb. They're nice people, but they're dumb.
Ethically, I fully support shoplifting from like big companies like Walmart. I do not care.
Yeah.
I
Anyways,
also
kids, if you're
leave
gonna shoplift, make sure it's under $500. That way, it does not count as grand theft.
True. I also leave a 1-star review at the checkout, at the self checkout every time. So my store manager
Bro, that shit
paid less.
that shit disappears way too quickly for you to like actually think about it. Like if you're not rating it 5 stars, they don't want you to have time to genuinely think about it.
Yeah, probably not.
Also, I don't know about your Walmart, but my Walmart, you'll find like there's always a group of like employees just near the front, just like talking with each other.
Yeah.
And like all the manned registers are empty. I can't fucking stand that. I hate self-checkout.
Those people are probably like the people that kind of just stand around and like just like watch and see if people are shoplifting or not. If you're in like a high crime area.
It's like 11 people in that group every time. And they're like, it's only like 2 of them are actually looking at the crowd. The rest of them are just talking amongst each other. Also, I learned the secret to this heart piece. You have to play it to him as a human.
Oh. I don't know. Personally, I don't really like. For the longest time, I fucking hated when customer service people like didn't give a shit and didn't put in effort. Until I became a customer service person. I guess I wouldn't even technically call what I did customer service at McDonald's, but like, when once I was thrown in an environment where it was literally physically impossible to create like quality products at like the rate that it was demanded.
Yeah.
It was literally physically impossible to make fresh meat for everybody.
Yeah. Also, the band lead is a fucking plagiarizer, by the way.
How so?
He's just stealing my rhythm.
Oh,
Like, we play it to him as a human, so he knows we're not a part of his band. And this is what we end up playing by doing the Zora quest line. You know?
yeah.
Did you read that text box? He's like, that's a pretty good song that I made up.
Yeah.
That's so fucked.
Is that
Also,
intentional?
I think so. I completed another heart piece.
Nice.
Let's go.
Oh my god, I need to tell you about something.
What do you need? Oh my god, you need to tell me about something.
No, it's not actually that funny. But
But tell me.
I watched a movie called Venom.
Yeah,
That shit was terrible, dude. Oh my
it's
god.
awful.
But I'm like halfway through Let There Be Carnage.
I did not
And
watch that.
Woody Harrelson is Carnage.
Isn't
Do I
he-
need to say more?
Dude. Cletus Cassidy in the comics is like a fucking lunatic, and I just can't imagine. I can't take him seriously with the fucking guy from Zombieland.
Fucking Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson is not a convincing villain, not a convincing maniac, or a convincing anything.
He was good in No Country and Zombieland.
Yeah, no, he was. You're right. But I find him as Cletus Cassidy just completely unbelievable.
Doesn't
Personally,
he also wear like a terrible wig?
I don't know. I didn't notice. He fucking. I know him from Curb Your Enthusiasm more than anything, where he just plays himself.
I don't think he'd play anybody else.
But him as Cletus Cassidy is not really believable. Also, Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock felt very strange. But
Especially, do you know what Tom Hardy sounds like normally?
no.
He has a very good voice, but his Eddie Brock voice is so off-putting.
I don't think I've ever seen anything else with Tom Hardy.
He has a very deep British, like, sexy voice.
It's not just about depth. You need the simplest version of the idea in order for it to grow naturally in your subject's mind. It's a very subtle art.
And it sounds very weird doing like that, like wimpy ass voice. Also,
Yeah.
he's very sweaty in the first movie.
See, like I like the movie Eddie Brock. I liked him a lot, but at the same time, it feels like a completely different character from like the comics or any animated series.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I'm fine. See, like here's the thing. I fucking hate comic book snobs who like anytime you mention a Marvel movie, they're like, oh, there's nothing like the comics. Oh. It's like, do you realize how fucking ridiculous like a 1-to-1 like interpretation of a comic would be, or even just like the
Bro,
general themes of a comic would be in
Willem
live action? It's
Dafoe
terrible.
with that goofy hairstyle though, with the comic Norman Osborn hairstyle.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
No.
Also,
No.
you know how like most Spider-Man movies take from the Ultimate Comics and not like the 616 continuity?
Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
Pretty silly.
Yeah. Also, I don't remember. Does the Venom movie do anything about Eddie having cancer, or is that just will forever remain a comic thing? Because I actually like that.
I don't think he has I don't think he has cancer in the movie.
I think it's actually really cool for that to be one of his motivations. That like Venom helps him with his cancer.
Venom was more morally, I've said morally complex like 7 times today, but whatever. He was like genuinely morally complex in the comics. And guys, remember, I read the comic wikis, not the comics, so I could be wrong. But his
way
comic
more morally
character,
complex in the Spider-Man PS1 video game.
Eddie Brock is like unambiguously a good guy in the movie, and Venom is also just like I think Venom is pretty comic accurate. Eddie
He's
Brock,
an anti-hero. Other than like he's one of those like characters that started out as a villain that became a hero, but like it's just he's only an anti-hero in the comics, really.
the thing is that he's an anti-hero, but he's presented as a villain simply because he's like arch enemies with Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is the
But yeah,
hero.
yeah, but in the comics and like the PS1 game, he's just like a foil. Like he's just trying to be Spider-Man, but in his own way, like in a
Yeah.
way that he thinks is better. I love how in the PS1 game he just shows up, calls Peter a bitch face, and then it's just like, "You want to race?" And Peter's like, "Yeah." Like I think that's badass. Like they're not like they're just like fucking. I'm forgetting the words, but like they're like way more on friendly terms. I like that so much.
Yeah.
Also, Anti-Venom is really cool. Do you know who Anti-Venom is?
Not really, no.
After Eddie Brock lost the symbiote, he had like a little remnant left over, and it combined with his cancer cells, and it made Anti-Venom. It's basically just Venom, but he's
that guy.
yeah, but also
Yeah.
he has some unique traits that make him pretty cool. Especially in that one Spider-Man video game, Edge of Time. That was really cool.
I don't know if this is clear, but I've never played a Spider-Man video game.
What?
Never. Well, okay, that's not
That's
true.
like-
I played I played Maximum Carnage.
You should play like one of the 3D Spider-Man games. They're so good, except for a few of them are pretty bad, but on general, they're pretty good.
Is Spider-Man PS4 good?
Oh, it's amazing. I think it's the best one, honestly.
Sucks that it's
It's like
PS4 only. I would.
No, it's on PC. It got a PC port.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
My PC probably can't run it anyways.
Probably not. Ultimate Spider-Man on GameCube is amazing. It's also on PS2, I think, but I think everybody agrees that the GameCube port is really good.
Is there
But,
good web slinging open world mechanics? That's the real question.
Dude, in Ultimate Spider-Man, it gets as you progress through the story, your web slinging just gets faster, and it just gets into the part where like you have to. It's so good to just swing around at like super high speeds. The web
I'll probably give
swinging
this game a shot then.
is really good. Yeah, Web of Shadows on PS3 is also really good. It has a lot of like extended comic characters, fucking Moon Knight and Wolverine and shit. There's something else that I'm thinking of. Another Spider-Man game I'm trying to think of. As much as the movies suck, the Amazing Spider-Man video game is really good. The first one, not the second one. Because it's not like a direct adaptation of the plot of the movie. It actually takes place after the movie, which I think is really cool.
I like it when video games have the guts to be like, yeah, fuck you. This video game is a sequel to the movie.
Yeah, it's really cool. The open world is really cool. The level structure is a little weird, but overall I think it's a great game. And also, oh yeah, Shattered Dimensions with all the like alternate Spider-Mans coming together. It was basically Spider-Verse before Spider-Verse, like before even the comic Spider-Verse.
I actually watched Into the Spider-Verse not too long ago.
Fantastic movie.
Yeah, it was great. I'm really excited for the sequel.
Isn't that coming out like next month?
I think so, yeah.
I'm so excited. That movie, not to be racist, but Miles Morales is kind of boring in the comics.
Is he better in the movies than the comics?
Way better. Also, remember how motherfucking Childish Gambino voice acted him in the fucking Ultimate Spider-Man TV show with Drake Bell?
I did not know that. I don't know
I just
anything
think-
about Ultimate Spider-Man. I like Spectacular Spider-Man. I started rewatching that recently.
The cartoon sucks. The actual like Ultimate Spider-Man comics in the video game are really good.
All I know about Ultimate Spider-Man, the show, is that Deadpool is in an episode. And it's one
It's
of
not even
Deadpool's... it's one of Deadpool's few animated appearances.
It's still not good.
Yeah. Watching Spectacular Spider-Man right now, actually. It's pretty good.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. That's the best cartoon animated adaptation.
I plan on watching all of Spectacular Spider-Man and then watching the, like, 1993 or 4 one.
I think it was 4. That's all. Yeah, that's like the second best. Everything else is pretty.
The
mid.
90s, I know the 90s Spider-Man has a bunch of, like, other Marvel characters in it.
Yeah,
I know they have, like, a crossover with the X-Men animated series, which I also plan on getting into.
that's
And they
also
also
a
have-
banger.
And they also have Punisher, which is one of Punisher's few
Yeah.
animated appearances.
I mean, Punisher originated in Spider-Man comics.
Yeah, he was a bad guy.
He was a villain. Yeah, he's an anti-hero now. So
All villains are fucking anti-heroes now. All characters in the realm of comics are anti-heroes to
yeah.
some extent.
I love how you know how when Puss in Boots 2 came out, like everyone was like whining about how the villain was like just unapologetically evil and had like no like backstory or anything.
Yeah.
Bro, you really want your villain to be sympathetic that bad now?
I think we've grown to have a pretty high standard of humanity when it comes to our villains.
Avengers Infinity War ruined a whole generation of movie watchers.
I feel like Thanos isn't even really like morally complex. Like he's not a very sympathetic character. Like his cause, like he has his cause, and that's it, right? Like his cause makes sense or whatever. But like he proves himself to be unambiguously evil.
Killed Gamora.
He cried when he killed his daughter. Wow, what a great guy.
Dude, he's so sympathetic.
Thanos
Also,
is a
hold on, sorry. It's just the song I played. He said that was the Ballad of the Windfish, which is obviously a Link's Awakening reference. That is not the Ballad of the Windfish. It sounds nothing like it. Anyways, it's the most useless mask in the game.
all those wrong notes you were playing made it sound more original.
Yeah. But yeah, I just sympathetic villains, like I honestly just hate most sympathetic villains that like the internet likes to talk about.
I think they try too hard nowadays to make sympathetic
Yeah.
villains. I think like
And
a
also
perfect
sometimes
example.
people root for a villain that's quote unquote sympathetic when in reality they're like clearly written to be evil with a capital E. Cough cough from Berserk, cough cough.
Sympathetic doesn't mean like good.
Yeah.
Like a good
It just
example of a
means
character that I
you
think
know why they do what they do.
that's pretty much what it means. Yeah, I think like a good example of a sympathetic villain is like Magneto, right? Like he obviously has the tragic backstory, and you know he has you can like develop an understanding of why he does what he does and sympathize with his desire to change the world, but at the same time acknowledge that he's a terrorist, and at the end of the day, terrorists are pretty evil.
Honestly, Magneto and Eren Yeager, kind of the same person.
Perhaps.
But yeah, no, totally. Actually, you know what? That's a good
X-Men 1 was so fucking terrible. I couldn't.
It was very mid. But X2 is actually genuinely good.
I watched like the first 10 minutes of X2 and was just like, what the fuck is this shit, dude? I don't care.
But
also, knowing that like one of the main guys behind it was a pedophile kind of ruined it for me. But then again, that would probably ruin like 90% of Hollywood.
Yeah, you kind of have to ignore that, which is very unfortunate.
I wonder how many pedophiles were involved in the MCU, like just like collectively.
You saw that, didn't you?
I unfortunately was looking away.
Hold on. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Bruh. What the fuck? Dude, fuck the share button on the PS4 controller. How dare you? How dare you replace the select button
Now it's
with a
just the
share
touchpad.
button?
The touchpad is the select button.
See, they can't decide if the touchpad is the select button or the start button. Because they replaced the start button in a lot of games with the touchpad.
Oh yeah, because also start is no longer start; it's now options.
Yeah. Like who the
PS
fuck's idea was
PlayStation
that?
wants to put options in everything.
It's PlayStation wants to put options and everything. Nobody calls that option. Does anybody say, "Oh, press options" when they're talking to their friend with the PS4 controller in their hand?
The only people who say options are game tutorials.
Yeah. Fucking remember the PS4? Like they had like remember like they put like a light in the back of their controller that has 3 colors and use that to market
And it
it
tells
and
you-
justify its
yeah.
ridiculous price. All it
Yeah.
does is tell you when the cops are coming in GTA, which you already know.
No. It tells you where your health is at in Resident Evil remake, Re 2 remake. That's actually really cool though. It's green if you're at like perfect health, yellow. Here,
See, that's kind of cool, but it doesn't justify marking up the
Yeah.
price as much as it does.
Also, the fucking was it the Dreamcast or the Saturn? I think it was the Saturn that did that already.
What?
that-
I'm pretty sure
it's
that was
for-
the Dreamcast.
Which one had like the small screen on
That was the Dreamcast.
Okay, the Dreamcast
The
port
little
of
Tamagotchi
Re2.
screen.
Yeah, also displayed your health in Resident Evil 2.
The Sega Saturn just had a shitty, like, regular standard controller.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna skip ahead to the fucking night of the final day.
Yeah, the Saturn's controller was basically just the fucking Genesis controller with the 6 buttons. It's fucking hideous. Sega
Yeah.
has never made a good controller in their life. I guess the Dreamcast controller has its fans.
Those
I
fans are
guess also the fucking Genesis controller
also
has its
has
fans too.
Sega made like a good game?
Sonic R is a masterpiece.
Okay, buddy.
I genuinely enjoy Sonic R thoroughly. I play it I don't since I packed up my games I don't play it a lot, but
Okay, but for real though, can we just agree that Sonic fans are like the most annoying people?
fucking daring today, aren't we?
I like
You know what else? You know what other fans are annoying? Bronies. I think bronies
True.
are pretty annoying, dude.
No, bronies are just fucking weird.
It's a shame the initiation was never complete.
I just like people who like defend Sonic though to like the bitter end and like genuinely get pissed when you say that they're bad Sonic games piss me off.
Yeah, I think most Sonic games are objectively like terrible, including the beloved Sonic 1, 2, and 3. I think they're terrible. I've said this a
They're-
million times publicly and got shit for it, but the only reason people like it. Okay, here's the thing about Sonic, okay?
Mhm.
The level design is cruel, punishing. There's a lot of rolling of the dice, a lot of leaps of faith, a lot of shit like that. If you
Skill
yourself, no, that's not a skill issue. If you yourself are intimately familiar with every twist and turn of a Sonic level, it can be satisfying to like, dash through. But for anybody who's playing it, like, and they didn't play it their entire childhood and skip or watch a YouTube tutorial, it's a fucking miserable experience. And if you really like Sonic, it's because you're intimately familiar with it, which basically is just a huge learning curve. And the learning isn't like actually like developing a skill. It's just like becoming familiar with the ridiculously poorly designed levels. And that includes Sonic 1, 2, 3, CD, every Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 have different problems.
Ever since Sonic spoke words, he has become so much more unlikable. I don't think his like fucking attitude is like it's funny or charming or something. It's just annoying. It's dead at like if I met a person who talked like how Sonic does, I'd curb stomp his ass. I'd pull an American History X on his ass.
He's a wisecracking action hero. Wow, big fucking like
But he's
Like-
he's
like,
more
what's
annoying
so-
than I'm gonna say it. He's more annoying than Meme Pool, and like that's saying something considering how much I hate like the versions of Deadpool that are just like chimichanga.
You know, I agree wholeheartedly. He's just the problem with Sonic is his quips are so bland and generic.
Yeah,
There's like no
Only-
like level of comedy to them. That's
only good quippy action hero is Spider-Man, and well,
even Spider-Man is kind of annoying. I'm gonna be real with you.
okay, hold on. There's like a
Like,
few video
like
game
Spider-Man,
characters.
like someone's
Okay,
like Spider-Man, you fucking insect. He's like, oh, actually, we're called arachnids. Looks like you're in a sticky situation, all covered in my web and all.
Okay, but hold on. But if he has the right voice actor, that delivery can go so hard. All right.
See, the thing with Spider-Man is not that the things that he says are necessarily funny. It's the way that he humiliates the villains.
Humiliates.
Humiliates.
Yeah, but like there are still a few quippy action heroes that I think are better. Like Bayonetta. Fucking love Bayonetta. Duke Nukem.
I think Deadpool can be done well. I think Deadpool in the video game was great. I think Deadpool in the
can be
movie was
done
great.
well.
I think even in Deadpool 2 he was great. There were definitely like moments where he fell flat, but for the most part, I think it was
There were
handled
moments
pretty
where he turned
solidly.
into Ryan Reynolds.
There are moments where he acknowledged the existence of Ryan Reynolds.
and those are very different from the moments that I'm talking about.
What was the? Sometimes he just says like there's some things that he says that are just like really fucking
Stupid,
what was I gonna say?
dumb.
It's like yeah,
Silly
really
even.
stupid, but like still funny. But I guess this could be like Family Guy brain rot.
It is.
Like somebody like what the fuck was it? Like someone like Lois in a Family Guy episode was like fuck. She called him something that had nothing to do with like size. She was like, "Peter, you're a fucking idiot." And then like Peter just like makes us like a smug scowl, and he's like, "Lois, we prefer to be called little people." And I laughed my ass off for like 20 minutes at that stupid fucking remark. Just because, just like, it's literally like random equals funny. It's just, to me, the prospect of somebody in an everyday conversation making such a stupid fucking like comparison or remark is funny to me. And I think Deadpool does a lot of that. I thought they like
Also,
I
I hate-
literally gone.
Go on. No, you first.
I was gonna say I literally laughed for like 7 minutes straight, over the glory hole joke in Deadpool 2.
So dumb.
He was like the glory hole in the Minneapolis airport. You know the one. That's funny. That's funny as fuck to me. You know the one.
That is funny.
Saying that to Colossus. It wouldn't be funny if it was to anyone but Colossus too. The shit that he makes Colossus tolerate.
If he was like saying that to the audience, I still think that would be funny. Oh, also like people who like, you know how like I already know like we've had the conversation of like meta humor is like no longer cool because it's now like mainstream and shit. Like everybody's
like meta,
doing...
like meta only is a concept that exists within the context of meta being like an uncanny thing.
Yeah,
If
like
that makes
it's
any
only,
sense.
it's only cool because like no like it's very rare to see people acknowledge that they are in a movie, but now everybody's like acknowledging that they're in a movie or a TV show or whatever.
Yeah, obviously without breaking the fourth wall directly is the more popular way.
Yeah,
Like someone in a movie would be like someone in a superhero movie is like, boy, man, what are you? You're like a villain in a superhero movie.
like how in like the Netflix Avengers TV shows, they all wear something that's vaguely similar to their original costume, and then they'll be like, "This looks so tacky and stupid."
Or in X-Men 1, Wolverine was like, what the fuck are these costumes? And he's like, and Cyclops is like, what would you prefer, yellow spandex?
Yes, I would. I think they can make a sick kick-ass like yellow suit for Wolverine.
They totally could have.
They
See,
totally
I wouldn't even be mad about its absence in the X-Men movies. Like if
Yeah.
they did it just like once, like just
Yeah.
just like eventually have it. Like I wouldn't be mad if like it took a couple movies for it to happen. I feel like Logan would have been a good opportunity to pull it out.
No.
No, Logan was too serious, too
Logan
not superhero-y.
Logan is way more of like a spaghetti western than a superhero movie.
Yeah,
You should watch it though. Seriously, like
I watched
genuinely.
like the first like 30 minutes of it with my brother.
What'd you think?
It's fucking depressing.
But it's so good.
No, it's great.
The whole point is that it's supposed to be super depressing. Logan is like a super old man.
Yeah.
Like what are you expecting?
I guess my point about the original costume, I will forgive them if he puts it on in Deadpool 3. And Deadpool 3 is a better opportunity than ever because they're putting him in like an actual superhero movie.
Yeah.
Which
well,
you could
I mean,
argue that the X-Men movies never really were.
Well, he also had his own. He had 2 of his own movies before Logan.
Yeah.
There's an entire trilogy of Wolverine movies, and one of them is really bad, and one of them is surprisingly
Wolverine.
good. Yeah, X-Men Origins Wolverine fucking sucks. Also, Will.i.am is in it. I keep forgetting that. But the actual movie called The Wolverine is like actually surprisingly good. Like it starts off like super cool as like a crime thriller, and then in like the second half, shit just hits the fan. But it's like not like in a bad way. It's just in a like, this is so insane. I'm so excited to see where it goes next. Way.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah.
Do you think Magneto is gay?
He is. Oh shit! We're talking about the actual, not Ian McKellen, but the actual character.
Yeah, the character.
Okay. I don't know.
In the obviously in the movies he is. Obviously. He's either gay or gay coded in the movies, right? Like they clearly.
He's being played by. Are you fucking kidding me? He's being played by Ian McKellen, of course.
Yeah.
I think Ian McKellen is like my favorite gay actor.
I don't even know a lot of gay actors. Well,
Neil Patrick Harris. He's also a good one.
I know a lot of actors that probably, get on their knees once in a while behind the scenes. But as far as like actually like openly gay actors,
the dude who plays Timon in The Lion King.
Ryan Reynolds is definitely bisexual behind the scenes.
Oh, 100%. It was definitely not like a coincidence that when getting new members of the voice cast for The Lion King 2019, they got the person who was gay that played Timon. They got another gay guy to play Timon.
Yeah.
Like, that was not a coincidence.
Small world.
Very, very obvious that they're fucking corporate bots in that situation. Obviously, it's fucking Disney. Of course they are. Also, this mask fucks.
Pretty good.
I like it. I think it looks cool. Then it was ruined when someone was like, "Oh, it's like bondage gear." No on me.
Mia.
Anyways, time to listen to Grandma's stories. Wow, isn't the background lore so awesome?
It really is.
Can't you believe that Skull Kid was friends with the Giants?
What? Honestly, the Giants are like the least interesting part about Majora's. I don't like. I feel like that is kind of. I think it's a little anticlimactic that like the entire lore of Termina is wrapped around these like weird ass giants.
I love the Giants. How could you not like the Giants?
They're just a little silly. I don't not like them.
They're awesome. I love that the reason that Skull Kid was such a little bitch and like mugged the Mask Man was because he was just so lonely because the Giants had to go do their job.
Sympathetic villain moment.
It really is.
When is he going to become an anti-hero?
He already is.
Zelda Origins Skull Kid.
By the end of the game, he is kind of like a... I wouldn't say anti-hero, but like...
He's not a hero at all. He's just a
Yeah.
guy by the end of the game.
Yeah, this isn't fucking. Stop comparing everything. Stop making everything Marvel. Stop superhero brain rotting my brain.
Me when Marvel.
Me when Marvel. Stop doing that.
See, the thing about Marvel is it's cool because it's Marvel,
Yeah.
but
You
it's
wanna know
also
something
Marvel.
I'm so glad that everybody's like talking about how awesome Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is and how like happy I am that I'm like knowing that I'm probably not gonna watch it ever.
I'm definitely gonna watch it at some point. I really liked the first two. Me and everyone else I know, but
Yeah. But I after fucking whatever it was, what's the words are hard. Spider-Man. After Spider-Man, the third one, I'm done. Like
you hated that movie?
No, like I'm just done with the MCU. Like I hated Endgame so much that like I promised myself Spider-Man would be the last thing because of all the rumors about, the boys being back in town.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, yeah, I kind of agree with you. Like after Endgame, I watched Spider-Man and like I started watching Black Widow and didn't really care.
You watched that?
I like started watching it.
It's
It seemed kind of interesting.
okay. Why
here's the thing.
Why
Here's the
would we
thing.
want a movie about a character who's already dead?
Here's the thing about Black Widow was that like
Yeah.
I watching it like on a mathematical level, it like if I were to describe the plot, it would seem compelling. But
Yeah. Well,
just watching it, it was just boring. I couldn't
yeah.
find myself invested. I only watched like 10 minutes of it, so maybe
Also,
who knows? Maybe
how
it's the
like
best movie ever.
you know how in like every movie that Black Widow and Hawkeye are in, they mention like a mission in Budapest and shit.
Yeah,
Don't you love how we never see that happen?
or ever hear about it actually happening.
Yeah, like they just talk about it. Like it's so annoying. Like I get that it's like oh we're never gonna see it, but they keep talking about it. It's called, like, but there gets to a point where it's just like not cool,
I think the Hulk Black Widow romance was so terrible
Also
too.
very stupid.
It was so shallow and just like randomly thrown there.
Yeah. Have you seen any of the Disney Plus shows yet? Are you going to even
No.
watch any of them?
I was gonna say Punisher, but that was a Netflix show.
Yeah. They all suck except for Loki. Loki's the only like one worth watching because it's actually important and shit, and it's like actually good.
Loki, as I said, as I famously said, Loki is growing on me.
Yeah, watch the show. That's
The
really
further
good.
into the
Like,
MCU I got, the more I liked Loki. I didn't like I felt like Loki was a character I was expected to care so much about with when I was barely even like introduced to him at all. Like literally in Thor 1, like
Yeah.
so little about Loki. And like
you
the
only
first
really
Avengers.
care for him in Ragnarok and Infinity War for the first 2 minutes of Infinity War.
He was the best part of Dark World for sure.
But yeah, well, that's like saying Jar Jar was the best part
Well,
of the
like-
Phantom Menace because like the rest of it was just so boring.
Well, like Loki like has some genuine, I wouldn't say character development, but like I feel like I spent some quality time with Loki throughout Dark World. Even though that was a shitty movie.
Yeah, but like I just fuck Marvel. Also, like,
As I was saying.
I watched Hawkeye too after Spider-Man because of Vincent D'Onofrio returning as Kingpin from like Netflix Daredevil.
Yeah.
They butchered him. They killed him. He's no longer cool. He's so lame.
I never really
Fucking
liked
went from-
Hawkeye that much. I never really cared.
Oh yeah. Also, the show just sucks. It's just not a good show. I'm so sick and tired of Marvel, and I'm glad that the world is starting to get tired of it too.
To be completely honest with you, like watching the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies just got me. I kind of switched from binging Marvel to just binging Spider-Man shit because Spider-Man is such.
That's totally fair because Spider-Man is the only like superhero media worth consuming.
Spider-Man is like the hero that I like respect the most ethically. Like, don't get me wrong, I love seeing a self-obsessed billionaire like deal with his fucking problems, and I love unfolding that ethic, like Tony Stark ethically, and all that shit. But like at the end of the day, like Spider-Man is just such a likable character the whole time.
Yeah, like that's the whole thing about why everyone likes him, because he was like literally made to just be the most relatable, likable guy ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are
Fucking
also plenty of
Spider-Man was
anti-heroes,
awesome.
and like there are plenty of people who are more like sociologically compelling or like complex than Spider-Man, right?
But
Within the Spider-Man
sometimes, yeah.
franchise.
Also, but like, and that, like people like want like, oh, like I only want like superhero media if it's like all morally gray and shit. I like Watchmen and The Boys, and like sometimes I just want to see a good guy do good things.
Yeah. And the morally complex shit does exist within the Spider-Man universe. It's just not really with the main character himself.
It just sucks that
Spider-Man.
most of the time. Most of the time, though, in the movies, it's just like, should I kill people or should I not kill people?
Yeah.
But like in the comics and games and shows, like
You mean
it's
Spider-Man?
yeah. Like I kind of hate how the movies are just like, should I kill people or should I not kill people?
I feel
As,
like
the
Spider-Man is
moral,
pretty
like-
firmly against killing people.
Oh, but like,
Like, consistently.
fucking, I don't know about that. Remember how in Amazing Spider-Man he like ruthlessly tried tracking down Uncle Ben's killer, and that plot point ended up going nowhere. But like when he straight up found a person who looked like it and realized it wasn't him, he said, you're really lucky you're not who I'm looking for," and then let the like car thief or whatever go.
Gonna be real with you. Never
You don't-
watched that
you don't-
one.
Okay, he is not plotted by selfless. He's not plotted. He is not motivated by selflessness in the Amazing Spider-Man 1. He is motivated by revenge.
Don't
And
they?
that is my
Don't they
very
literally
much-
address that in No Way Home and be like, "Yeah, I was consumed with revenge, but that's bad."
Yeah, well, like, but like that. That's why No Way Home is good and the Amazing Spider-Man movies are bad, because they don't really say
Yeah.
that in the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
I hear a lot of people praise the Amazing Spider-Man movies, or not the Amazing Spider-Man movie, No Way Home, just for like tying up a lot of loose ends from those characters that were kind of like cut off with no notice.
Yeah, the reason why Andrew Garfield is so amazing is because, like, you know, he was originally going to be like a lot more movies, but it got canceled. And also, he was very not good in those movies. But anyways, yeah. Do you have anything? I've been kind of just waiting to end this recording session. Plug your shit.
Go listen to Middle School GSA, where me and my good friend Felonious Ferris talk about my good friend, me and my great friend Felonious Ferris talk about a lot of moral, cultural, and political topics from a transgender and LGBTQ plus perspective.
Anything I want to shout out is on screen right now. Yeah. That's pretty much it. See ya. It's pretty much it. See ya. Yeah. See you guys later.